I wanted to start my top 30 albums of 2024 list by admitting that I kind of cheated a little bit. If you didn't see my mouth catch-up video yesterday, that's fine, because I didn't really explain this that well there, but I had so many catch-ups for 2024 that I couldn't get them all done before the year itself was out, so I pushed some into the first week of January 2025. In my defense, fuck all comes out in the first week of January of any year. Don't look at me like that, I had a lot to go through. Another adage is that I'm actually not going to do my honourable mentions in the 30 to 21 range, but for the proper top 10 itself. With that all being said, let's start with the first 10 of my favourite 30 albums of 2024. Number 30, Cherem, Take It or Leave It. Taking My Wooden Spoon is this lovely bit of gay pop punk, and I mean that in both the album being happy and also just gay, non-derogatory. The album is full of catchy tunes about the awkwardness of love, queer identity and adolescence, backed with a very bright sounding mix and some really fun guitar work, not to mention the sheer endearing charm oozing out of every pore. It's good to have an album that just puts you in a good mood, and this was a prime example in a year that really needed more albums that put me in a good mood. Number 29, Couch Slut, You Could Do It Tonight. And to counterbalance the bright happy poppy punky noise, we have deeply angry and violent feminist hardcore punk about how evil man can be. Joy. Despite the album occasionally being too moist-centric for my taste, there is something to be said about a release that makes me physically uncomfortable while making sure I'm stank-facing. Powerful lyrics and performances, a loose concept, dense production, and some good deliberation to its pacing will make sure that this one sits with you no matter how you react to it. Number 28, Sprints, Letter to Self. The amount of critically acclaimed debuts that I thought were only pretty good was surprisingly staggering, but even I couldn't deny that Ireland's Sprints have a special thing going. Taking an often saturated alt-rock post-punk mix and giving it nuance while reminding us how growing the style used to be is no small achievement. With organic production, heavy themes, a great mix of styles, and a sense of urgency, don't be surprised if this Dublin-based quartet blows up soon, and I kind of hope they do. This was a really good first impression. Number 27, Joey Valence and Bray, No Hands. Do you know what 2024 needed a lot more of desperately? A sense of fun. There was no shortage of great rappers future entries on this list will show, but there's something so satisfying about seeing a group early into their career capitalise, maximise their minutes, and just have a blast along the way. It's not the deepest album lyrically, sure, but the fun vibe, type framing, chemistry, and punchiness of the beats carry a lot of this album, although I am pretty sure that they did actually have to use their hands at some point in this one, so don't lie to me, boys. Just don't. Number 26, The Chisel. What a fucking nightmare. One doesn't expect pop punk to have a more political lean, one also doesn't expect it to do it so well. But The Chisel managed to do that while having a ton of fun along the way. I like that the album basically catches a lot of everyone's feelings to the post-pandemic music world, being a spit in the face to it and focusing on more pertinent stuff. Also, it's produced slickly with great writing and a good sense of pacing that whizzes by, so I'd say that this one is worth hammering down on when you get time. Number 25, Cock Sparrer, Hand on Heart. One of the sad things about most AOTY lists that I see is the constant snubbing of vulgar British punk rock, and I for one will not stand for it. Especially as Cock Sparrer have all but confirmed that this is going to be their final album, but after 52 years in the game, they deserve more recognition. So I would say for that, as well as for its uplifting lyrical themes, earnest performances, great pacing, and underrated guitar work. Thanks for all you did, Cock Sparrer. England will always belong to you. Number 24, Sorcerer, Devotion. As I was going through catch-ups, I had a lot of metal of varying flavours to tear through, and when I saw this band name and album title, I was geared up for another mostly okay doom metal album, which isn't helped by the fact that there is a Swedish doom metal band with the same fucking name. What I got though was a pretty fucking amazing amount of metalcore run from a small French band working in great lyrics, a tight flow of pace, and passionate performances. Proof that word of mouth can sell a band perfectly when it counts. Number 23, Morgan Wade, Obsessed. We've had a lot of punk subgenres so far, haven't we? And don't worry, there will be more, but I felt like country should get a representation on one of these lists, and Morgan's a favourite of mine despite her still young career. Working in relatable and personal stories that aren't by every other modern country artist is great, as are her emotional subtle delivery and songwriting. Mix that with lovely production and instrumental work and you get more proof that more people should listen to more Morgan. Number 22, Alkaline Trio, Blood, Hair and Eyeballs. Going back to punk for a bit, we have one of its best and most underrated institutions casually putting out a January banger and hoping we'd forget. But I didn't, you lovely grim emo punky boys you. I think part of the reason it's here at all is because it's nice to have them back after 6 years, but this might be some of their best work since From Here to Infirmary. With the layered riffs, clever writing, dedication and open feel, that's something only you can judge, and I judge that this album be fucking dope. And finally for this video, number 21, Ghost Inside, Searching for Solace. So, is this anything new for the Ghost Inside? No. Does it match up to their brilliant 2020 self-titled effort? Not really. Is it a TGI album, therefore still rules because of who's attached to it? Absolutely. Again, in a year where we needed more hopeful releases, it was nice that one of the metalcore genre's premier babyface bands provided that, with great themes, performances, a great core sound, and good polish. Honestly, it's just nice to have a band that makes you feel happy, and these guys have had that effect on me since they were first around, and they probably always will. And that'll about do it for now. I'll see you all tomorrow for my 20 to 11 list, and if there's any albums that you didn't hear in this one, then you probably weren't paying much attention, or that might be in my 20 to 1 range, or it might be in the honourable mentions. That'll be listing again on Friday for my 10 to 1 list, and yeah, that's really all I have to think of to say. I'll see you all tomorrow for the next bit of this, and as always, thank you for watching, you're awesome, bye bye.